Today we're going to see how to restrict a user in Jira from creating an issue unless a date field is populated and that date is within 180 days from today. And we're going to do that using power scripts from C Prime. And we're going to do that using a workflow validator. I've already created the SIL validator, and I pointed it to a blank script that I've already created called allow date and range. So I just need to publish the change to my workflow. Okay. And I'm going to hop over to my SIL manager and my script, which, as you can see, has some comments on the top but is otherwise blank. Now what I'm going to do is cheat and start with this code here, which is basing the validator off of hours worked, and it's very similar to what we're about to do. And honestly, I mean, if you can reuse any bit of code, that's what you should do. So we don't need this. We do need an interval, and we're going to change the name max. We're going to change it to we'll just extend that max date. Change it here. And it's an interval. And just because we use minutes here doesn't mean we can't use days. So we can say 180 days, like that. If you noticed a little pause in the video there, it's because I somehow managed to hit the insert button and for the life of me couldn't figure out how to undo it on this laptop. Anyway, so we set our max date to 180 days. Then we are creating a string called error message, and we need to change that. And we're going to base this off of due date. So we'll say due date must be within 180 days of today. Okay. So then what the other script did is just check to make sure that due date is not null. Alright, I need to check to see what exactly we call due date. So I just popped over to the documentation over on C Prime's website, and page that I'm on constantly. Whoops, it's called variable resolution. And it just gives you a list of all the common variables that can be accessed using power scripts and aliases. So it shows you how to use them basically. And we can due date, we can just use the word due, which I guess I accidentally already had because that's just where I stopped typing. So we can say we need to change this a little bit. I'm going to change the name of this to range because I think what we should do is we should create a second date, call it date, and we'll call that max date, and we'll set that equal to, it'll be current date, this is the current date function, plus range. And that should give us a date 180 days from today. And we'll say these are two conditions, so due date would be greater than max date, which would trigger the error message of due date must be within 180 days of today. I think that's it. I think that's all we need. Let's try. So now, if I try to create an issue, We have two tests to perform here. One, will it allow me to create an issue successfully? And will it prevent me from creating an issue if due date is too far out? So let's do the prevent. 180 days is a long time. So let's try, that should be more than 180 days. And that's interesting. So it would help if I tried creating an issue that had the workflow that we actually used, which was task. Let's try this again. All right, good. And there we have it. Due date must be within 180 days of today. So that test passed. Let's try making the due date. And there you have it. Assuming you use the right workflow, this is how you use power scripts from C Prime to restrict users from creating an issue if the due date is not within 180 days from today. Thanks for watching.